Welcome to Inside Sim Racing, I'm Billy Strange. Forza Motorsport 6 has just released their Hot Wheels car pack, so in this edition of Test Drive, I will be checking out the Ferrari 461 from the 1990 F1 series. Going around Catalunya with the AI set to unbeatable, 3 laps, and we get to start on the front row, which, again, I don't know why Turn 10 does not give you qualifying or allow you to pick your spot on the grid. It would be so nice. Got a good start off the line there. I tried to pick appropriate cars to run with, although one of those things that Turn 10 also does is not allow you to actually pick the specific cars you want to run against. I would have much rather run against the McLaren and had some just, Ferraris and McLarens to run against from the correct period, but instead I had to kind of trick it and just say that it was performance index was P and that it was rear wheel drive, and at least it gave me open wheel cars. You can see I'm running a Thrustmaster TX base with a TM28 wheel this time, the leather edition. Wanted to try this wheel out, see if it felt any different, and it does. It does not have... when you have a larger wheel, you have more leverage, but everything turns a bit slower because you have a further radius to go. The smaller wheel is quicker reacting, and it does. It made a difference. I actually felt more comfortable with this wheel than the larger 599 rim. The only downside to this rim is it's leather, and I noticed it does not grip as well as the Alcantara. So if they made an Alcantara version of this, that would be pretty cool. I just picked this wheel because I thought it would be more appropriate. And then the other thing I had to do was, even with the 599 wheel, it felt, it has that characteristic FM6 numb in the center. And no matter what I did, it just didn't feel right. So what I did was I just reset everything, cranked the force feedback all the way up, cranked the vibration all the way up, and put it at default 140 degrees. And it did feel better. It started to feel more like a Formula 1 car with the force feedback that heavy, though. It is definitely a workout. Once again, it still has that characteristic numbness in the center of the wheel, but at least I didn't get those odd snap over, understeer moments. Using the Ricmotech GT Pro 1 pedals, that's with an adapter that goes into the wheelbase, all on a GT Omega ART chassis. Settings for this car, whoops, don't need those pylons anyway. I took some nose wing out, actually I put nose wing in the front and took some rear wing out. This car has an on-throttle push, especially in the higher speed turns, so gave it a little more downforce in the nose, took some off the rear just so it would turn a little better. Towed out the front just, I think it's 1/10 of a degree, just so that it initiates that turn in a little more, so the car doesn't search around. Definitely played with the diff. Took that down to about 45% in the rear, so when I did end up slowing down too much and then gassing it, it wasn't so radical that it made me feel like I could hang on to it. And this will be my fastest lap here, this third lap. And then the decel, I think I lowered as well. I think I put that at about 15%, just so that it would rotate a little more on entry. And I made a couple other minor adjustments, lower the tire pressures just a little bit, but the aero seemed to make the biggest difference. Went a little wide there, probably cost me a 1/10 or 2. But this is the end of the race. We turn a 756 rather, I turn. I'm including you guys with me. I probably could have run a 127.5 or so if I hadn't have messed that turn up there. And there you have it. There is your look at the Ferrari 461 from the Hot Wheels pack in Forza Motorsport 6. Have you tried this car yet? Let me know what you think in the comments below if you have. What do you think of this era of car? Do you like the 1990 Formula 1 cars? I especially enjoy them. This particular car in Forza Motorsport, for a Forza Motorsport 6 car, it drives well. Once I change the handling a little bit, it drives very well. Now compare that with other sims and or games, we're talking apples and oranges, and it's missing something in the force feedback. And now from the community, in the Dirt Rally video with the 405 T16 going up Pikes Peak that I ran, Nicholas Bradshaw responds to me about the classic cars question and says, I'd love to see some classic oval racing cars in Sims. The circuit stuff is great to see, but Chevy Luminas and etc. or even older would be awesome. So he's referring to like stock cars and older classic oval racing cars. That is from the 90s era and the 80s era. The 80s era and probably the mid to late 70s era was some of my favorite in the oval stuff from NASCAR. So, with that said, what do you think? Are you into any classic oval racing cars? If you are, let me know below. If you have a suggestion for our test drive series, you can also comment below and let me know that as well. I do put everything down so that when I get a chance, I pick somebody's suggestion and put it on our test drive series. For more Forza Motorsport 6 coverage, subscribe to Inside Sim Racing. You can also visit isrtv.com to keep up with all the latest sim racing news. Visit our forums. You can follow me on Twitter at strange_Billy. You can also follow Inside Sim Racing on Twitter as well. You can also friend me on Xbox Live if you wish. That's under Red Cypher, REDSYPHER, and we can compare times on there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care.